You know the feeling. Your mind is hijacked. Your thoughts take a nosedive. The glass looks so half empty, and actually, you're obviously a loser. This is inner critic territory. It's like getting sucked over to the dark side. Life is challenging enough. Do not put up with trash talking inner saboteurs or gremlins throwing up more roadblocks. Today is Inner Critic 101. I'm handing over a few foundational tools, indispensable if you're just getting started, or a great refresher, reboot if you already are on the journey of freeing yourself from the inner critic. This is The Growth Moment with your coach, Amy Kay. Inspiration, ideas, and incredible insights for you to be more and do more. Get ready to grow today. I have a long-standing passion for working on inner critic issues, my own and others. That's why it was the topic of my very first episode early in 2021, coaching my client Scotty on his 800-pound gorilla of an inner critic. I've amassed a pretty deep toolkit over the years, constantly working on my own skills and side by side with my clients on theirs. Honestly, I could do a 10-week course on managing the bullshit in your mind. But today I'm giving you two classics, the must-have tools. Why bother? You bother because there is a huge return on investment in improving your ability to manage your inner critics. You bother because inner critics are relentless and ruthless, always looking for their way in. You bother because your full potential is priceless. So if you feel stuck or the speed bumps are looking like brick walls, if you are sliding into black and white thinking or hyper-focusing on why you can't do something, if you have that whirlpool of second-guessing yourself, comparing yourself to others, and coming up short, this is your episode. So get ready for the freedom that comes when you kick out your inner critic so that you are in charge. Open, both and thinking, flow, momentum, creativity, and possibilities. There are endless inner critic resources out there. Books, gurus, websites, seminars, retreats, podcasts. I want you to take advantage of any and all of it. But today, I'm sharing two of my tools, the tried and true, with hope they will become the same for you. Take what works and toss the rest. I always start with inner critic awareness and separation. It's like the old saying that knowing you have a problem is the first step to overcoming it. You begin with becoming aware, or remembering that you already know that the inner critic isn't the real you. It's just a voice in your head, old conditioning, distorted thinking, like faulty computer code or programming. Bottom line, you are so much more than the limited thinking. Creating that crucial separation between you and the inner critic was one of the first things I learned in coach training 20 years ago. I remember the relief I felt when I got the separation. The concept that that soul-sucking inner monologue wasn't the real me. It was just a voice, just my inner critic. And vitally, it wasn't my client's real self either. We all have an inner critic. What I want you to know all the way in your bones is that your higher self, your full self, the real you, is right here. It's always here. You might think that that trash-talking voice and perspective is real. Trust me, it's not. But let's not talk about it. Let's practice creating awareness and separation from your inner critic. Breathing room. Take a look. Where do you notice limited thinking lately? Any black or white, either or, zero-sum game kind of thoughts? Or notice where there is an inner voice telling you that you can't, you're not good enough, or it's not going to work out anyway, so don't even bother. Another big clue is that condescending inner voice saying, who do you think you are to do whatever it is you're trying to do? You're looking for any place where the voice is comparing you to others and telling you that you don't measure up. Now, take a breath. Relax. I want you to step back and picture pushing that voice outside of your body so you can listen and observe from a distance. I want you to dial up your awareness. See if you can write down exactly what your inner critic is saying. It can be on a specific issue or situation or just general commentary. It's like being a reporter or a scientist. Your only job is to jot it all down. You are not trying to change it or even refute it, simply a detached observer. Grab a notebook or a piece of paper or your laptop phone. Without overthinking it, do a stream of consciousness capture of all the crappy things your inner critic has to say. The key messages, the heart of its marketing campaign to keep you small. Take your time, pause the audio if you need to, but continue writing until your inner critic runs out of steam. To make sure you got it all, you can ask your critic, do you have more to say? Is there anything I missed? Be that curious, objective interviewer. That's it. That's the tool. Writing down what your inner critic says, but from that separate, it's not the real you perspective. Sometimes awareness is enough to downsize the critic and take away its power. They don't like the spotlight. And the separation alone can create a shift. However, more tools are usually needed. The other tool I give you today is standing up and pushing back. Often, inner critics are allowed to set up camp in our heads and say whatever they want with no consequences. They can talk all day long, a running monologue of doomsday scenarios and cutting commentary that chips away at your confidence and momentum. It is game-changing to write down all their messages. As I said, awareness and separation can do wonders. But the power move is to stand up, look them in the eye, and push back. There are many ways to do this. You can put your hand up and say, that's enough out of you. You can set a boundary. Give your inner critic a timeout. Send them to the corner to think about what they've done. Or just tell them, I don't let people speak to me that way. Basically, you stop nodding your head in agreement and get some backbone. I want you to try it right now. Actually stand up. Take a deep breath and tell your critic, that's enough. Literally, put your hand up. Stand tall and be the alpha dog. Picture your inner critic standing right in front of you and look them in the eye like you mean it. And then say out loud with full force, that's enough. Pause the audio and try it for real. Notice how it feels in your body and in your brain. And if they keep talking or try to change tactics, really lean into it. Get in their face and say no as loud as you can. Shout it. This is your head and your life. You can shut them up. if even for a moment. Enough time to catch your breath, to remember who you really are and who's in charge. These are basic, simple building blocks, but it is the start of taking back your power, of rebalancing. So much of inner critic management is not playing into their game. The worst thing is to take them seriously and to treat them like they are the boss or even worthy of sitting at your table. You do not have to engage. I challenge you to practice standing up and pushing back today and over the next week. Build this muscle. All right. Next, I will talk about a few other tools that you can take advantage of, and we'll wrap up. These are just the basics, the starting point. Awareness and separation, standing up and pushing back. There are so many more, a cabinet full of tools. Other management techniques like redirecting or rechanneling their energy, sending your critics on vacation, giving them a new job. You can dial up the awareness by visualizing your inner critic. Draw them. Write out a description. Give them names. There are tools for seek and destroy missions, full-on eradication. Also techniques for leveraging your inner critic. Taking any useful insights, thanking them, and then dismissing them from the room. You can give your critic a new messaging campaign. Take each one of their statements and do a rewrite. And there are super advanced skills for total transformation, leading with love and turning the inner critic into your inner champion. The bottom line is that dealing with your inner critic is a life skill and usually requires ongoing effort. Keep adding to your toolkit. I recommend scheduling regular inner critic cleanup, putting a reminder in your calendar, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, whatever is needed to get the space you require to dream, to take a risk, to lead your life. I've done whole coaching sessions or a series with clients just on their inner critic. Believe me, my most successful and impressive clients have crazy, wicked inner critics. You are not alone. And if your critic is unrelenting and you are feeling depressed or hopeless, make sure to go get the resources you need. If you want to work on your inner critic, either for the very first time or you just need a bit of maintenance like pest control, let's go. I would love to find what tools are just right for you. Maybe none of the things I mentioned today work and we need to create something never used before. That's my job. No cookie cutter. It's only and always about you so that you have the best possible chance to reach your full potential with the inner runway clean and clear. Now, remember, I'm here for whatever you need. You always can explore one-on-one private coaching or joining one of my workshops or groups. Find all the episodes and resources on thegrowthmoment.com and subscribe, follow on your favorite podcast app. Get out there and grow today.